Kellogg's Pep, the super delicious cereal, presents
The Adventures of Superman.
Faster than a speeding bullet. More powerful than a locomotive. Able to leap tall buildings at a single bound.
Look, up in the sky. It's a bird. It's a plane. It's Superman. Yes, it's Superman. And today, as Clark Kent, he meets an old acquaintance. In danger because one of his gang, a girl named Dixie Lamar, had shot and killed a federal agent, Dr. Bly, the cunning leader of the gang, plotted to pin the murder on Lois Lane, who was almost a perfect physical double for Dixie. Disguised as a press agent, Dr. Bly invited Lois to be guest of honor at Playland, a large amusement park outside Metropolis. And when the girl reporter arrived with Jimmy Olsen and young Dick Grayson, who was really Robin, the companion of Batman, the three were given a ride on the River of Horrors. But as their boat glided through a dark tunnel, a supposedly fake skeleton seized Lois and disappeared. Unable to make a police officer believe their fantastic story, Jimmy and Dick phoned Clark Kent and Batman. But when Kent arrived at the amusement park a few minutes later, the two boys were not there. As we continue now, Kent is pacing nervously before the entrance to the River of Horrors concession as a tall, masked figure wearing a bright blue hood and cape approaches. Listen.
Kent. Clark Kent.
Batman, what are you doing here?
I got word that Dick Grayson and Jimmy Olsen were in trouble.
So did I. Have you seen them?
No, not yet. I was to meet them right here in front of the River of Horrors.
Yeah, Jim told me to meet them here, too. He said they'd be waiting for me. I got here about 20 minutes ago, and I haven't seen hide nor hair of them.
That's strange.
Frankly, I don't like it. I spoke to the man who owns this concession, but he says he hasn't seen them.
Uh-huh. I wonder if... Oh, here comes a policeman. If anything happened around here, he ought to know about it.
Right, let's ask him. Officer.
Hey, just a moment, officer.
Sure, and you ought to win the first prize at the Masquerade Carnival tonight, young fella. You look just like the pictures of Batman.
Do I?
That you do, with spitting image. Well, what can I be after doing for you?
Well, look, we were supposed to meet two young boys here, but they haven't shown up. We're afraid they might have run into trouble. Their names are Dick Grayson and Jimmy Olsen. Have you heard anything about them?
Two lads, you say?
Jim is 16. He's about this tall, officer. Thin and wiry and freckle-faced. Dick is a year, maybe two younger.
Sure, and they must be the lads who give me the malarkey about the skeleton making off with the young lady.
What?
Skeleton?
What young lady?
They're the ones, all right. One was skinny and freckled, like you say.
Uh-huh.
And I mind now they called each other Jim and Dick.
That's right.
As a matter of fact, I was coming by here now just to make sure they wasn't getting into no more trouble.
What sort of trouble?
Where are they?
It's a trick they tried to play on me, the young spalpeens.
Trick?
Telling me they was in a boat on the River of Horrors. And that when the boat went in the dark tunnel, they said one of them phony skeletons in the wall, it's made out of wood and paper, painted with that luminous stuff, you know, to make it scary.
Yes?
Get to the point, officer.
Take it easy. It's only a joke, I tell you. Well, where was I?
In the tunnel.
Oh, yes. Well, so when they got into the tunnel, they're telling me, one of them phony skeletons grabbed the young lady that was in the boat with him and disappeared right out of this world with her.
Great Scott, that must have been Lois. Lois Lane.
Now, take it easy, Kent. Where did you speak to the boys, officer?
Right here it was. They,
Where did they go after they spoke to you?
Well, they rushed off to them phone booths there, behind the hot dog stand. They were going to call somebody up.
That's it, Kent.
Something must have happened to prevent their coming back here to meet us. Let's go. You better come along with us, officer.
Come along where?
We're taking a ride through the River of Horrors, right, Kent?
Right. 3, please.
That'll be 30 cents.
All right, here you are. Come on, you two.
Now, hold on a minute. You fellas don't really believe that stuff about the skeleton.
We're going to see for ourselves. Now, where's that boatman? He was here a moment ago.
We don't need him. Here's an empty boat. Come on, hop in. I'll untie it.
Okay. Come on, officer.
That I will. To show you myself, them skeletons couldn't hurt a fly.
Hey, wait a minute. I don't see any oars.
You don't need oars. There's a bit of a current takes the boat along through the tunnel.
Oh, well, all right. I'll push off. Here we go. That's the tunnel up ahead, isn't it?
Yes, and we're wasting our time, as you'll see for yourself in a minute.
I can't understand why Lois didn't tell me that she and Jim were coming here tonight. She acted so mysterious about where she was going.
It's a joke, I tell you. None of them was here.
What do you mean? You said you spoke to the boys.
I mean they didn't go through the River of Horrors. They made that up, too.
What?
And all about a Mr. Hemingway or some such name giving them a free ride.
Say, that's a new angle. Who's Mr. Hemingway?
There isn't any Mr. Hemingway.
There isn't.
Leastwise, it's a sober fact he's not the press agent for this amusement park, like them two young rascals said. A heavy-set old man with white hair and dark glasses. That's how they described
They
him.
did, eh?
As a matter of fact, the press agent for Playland is a man named Spencer, and he's a young fella with black hair.
This gets stranger and stranger, Kent.
Yes, and I like it less and less.
Take my word for it, it's just a trick those youngsters was playing.
I don't think so. Well, here's the tunnel.
It's as black as the ace of spades.
I'll say.
Where are the skeletons?
You'll see them in a moment. Each one jumping up out of the walls like a jack-in-the-box. I hope you don't scare easy.
Well, I'll try not to scream. Hey, what's that? Oh, it's a skeleton.
Take a good look before it's gone. You think that could kidnap anybody?
No, that skeleton couldn't. It's made of cheap wood and paper.
There's another one.
Yeah, that's wood and paper, too.
They all are. It's like I told you. Your young friends was having a joke with you like they tried with me, bad sister.
He may be right, Kent, after all.
Oh, wait a minute. That's funny.
What?
Well, that wire shot out of the wall there with no skeleton attached.
Oh, so what? It might have fallen off.
Yes, that could be, but...
Uh-oh. Sit down, Mr. Kent. You'll tip us all.
What is it, Kent?
I just saw something. Wait a minute. I can reach that wire.
What did you see? What are you stopping the boat for?
I'll show you in a moment. There we are. Now, look.
Look at what? I can't see my hand before my face.
Huh? Oh, yes, I forgot. You have a flashlight, don't you, officer?
That I have. Here we are.
Good. Just shine it on the wall right alongside you, please.
Sure. How's that?
A little more to the right. Oh, that's fine. Hold it. Now, see, Batman?
You bet an opening in the wall.
Shh, quiet. Keep your voice down.
Where? Sure, and it is. Like a little doorway.
No, I didn't know that was there. How did you ever notice it in the dark, Kent?
I've got pretty sharp eyes, and anyway, I was watching for something like this. What do you say? Let's have a look. Come on.
Right behind you.
You, care to come along, officer?
That I do, Mr. Kent. Not that I think this is important, mind.
Oh, you don't, eh? Well, I think it is. There we are. Okay. Now, officer, lead the way with your flashlight. But be careful. Anything may happen.
You lead the way with my flashlight.
No. Go ahead, officer. We're right behind you.
Anxiously, Clark Kent and Batman step into a low, dark passageway behind Officer Riley, whose flashlight stabs a thin ray through the musty gloom. What will they discover? We'll return in a moment to find out. But first...
Say, did you ever see a dog with wings? No, I'm not kidding, honest. I can tell you right now where you can see a picture of a dog with wings. Sure. It's the lucky insignia of Navy Squadron 14. And that insignia is one of the buttons in the second series put out by Kellogg's Pep. A mighty dramatic-looking insignia it is, too. The dog has a sort of determined expression on his face. Looks like he means business as he leaps at the enemy. There's a brilliant red background, too, to make the button even more colorful and smart-looking. And that's only one of the 22 different buttons in this grand second series. Actually, there are insignia of 8 Army Air Squadrons, 7 Navy Air Squadrons, 3 Marine Air Squadrons, plus 4 warplanes. Why, you'll want to collect every single one of them. And that's easy to do, too, because you don't have to send in any money, not even a box stop. Truth is, you can't buy these buttons anywhere. You just tell your mother you're going to eat lots of that super delicious whole wheat flake cereal, Kellogg's Pep. Then she can stock up on it. Every package she opens means a new exciting prize for you, a bright-colored insignia or warplane button. Yes, sir, you'll find a button in every package, and that's the only way you can get them. So, gang, don't forget to ask Mom to get you plenty of P-E-P, Pep, made by Kellogg's of Battle Creek.
And now, back to the adventures of Superman. Discovering a small, narrow opening in the tunnel wall on the River of Horrors, Clark Kent left the boat with Batman and Officer Riley and entered a low, pitch-black passageway. Stooping, Kent and Batman proceed in single file behind Riley, whose flashlight sends a cloudy ray through the dank, cobwebby darkness.
I wonder where this passageway leads to, Kent.
I imagine we're under the amusement park now, Batman.
How do you know?
I can see.
You can see.
Huh? Well, I mean, I can hear the music and the crowds above us.
I can't.
Watch your heads. The ceiling's getting lower.
Okay.
Right.
Strange place for a passageway, Kent, don't you think?
Yes. I don't like this whole setup.
Neither do I. Miss Lane disappearing from the boat, then Dick and Jim missing. I'm afraid they've gotten into trouble because they saw what happened to Miss Lane.
What the...
What's the matter, officer?
What's wrong?
Something brushed by my leg.
I can't see anything.
Oh, it's probably just a rat. Keep going.
As soon as I find my ratted flashlight, I dropped it and it went out.
It must be around here someplace. I've got it.
Good. Lucky it didn't break. I don't like this place. I don't like it one bit.
All right, come on. Let's go.
Okay. But I don't like it.
Hey, I can hear the sounds of the amusement park now, Kent.
Yes. Yes, we're getting to the end of the passageway. Hey, that's strange.
What?
Well, the passageway.
You're right. We're coming to the end of it.
Yeah. Here we are. Outside again.
Saints alive. Do you know where we are?
Where?
Right behind the Hall of Mirrors.
What?
The Hall of what?
The Hall of Mirrors. It used to be the crazy house.
Oh,
Now, how come that passageway ends up here?
I don't know. We haven't found Dick or Jim or Miss Lane. It looks like we're too late.
Yeah, I'm afraid so. It's a cinch that Lois was carried through this passageway.
Maloney. Now, if you listen to me.
Come on. We better search the park.
There's nothing else we can do.
You know, I've been figuring it out. That passageway must have been left there when they moved the miniature train from here to the other side of the park.
That's so?
That was a couple of years ago, when Joe Hansen put in the River of Horrors.
Joe Hansen. I'd like to speak to this Joe Hansen.
So would I.
But he ought to be back at the entrance near the ticket booth. We can cut across in front of the Hall of Mirrors.
Wait. Hey, look, Kent.
What?
Coming out of the Hall of Mirrors. See that heavy-set old man?
Yes. He's got white hair and dark glasses.
Mr. Hemingway, the phony press agent Dick and Jim told the cop about. Come on.
Okay. Uh-oh, he saw us. He's ducking back into the Hall of Mirrors. You stay here, officer. Step on it, Batman. After it.
Following their first real clue, Batman and Superman and his guise of Clark Kent race to the entrance of the Hall of Mirrors, into which the man with white hair and dark glasses has just disappeared. Is it Dr. Bly? And will Superman and Batman find Lois Lane in time? And Jimmy Olsen and Robin? Don't miss tomorrow's exciting episode, fellows and girls. Tune in, same time, same station for The Adventures of Superman.
Faster than a speeding bullet. More powerful than a locomotive. Able to leap tall buildings at a single bound.
Look, up in the sky. It's a bird. It's a plane. It's Superman.
Fellows and girls, be sure to follow the adventures of Superman. Brought to you every day, Monday through Friday. Same time, same station, by the makers of that super delicious cereal, Kellogg's Pep. And for other thrilling adventures of Superman, see your local newspaper. Superman is also a copyrighted feature appearing in Superman DC publications. This is the Mutual Broadcasting System.
Welcome back. Well, I don't know what I was expecting when Batman came on the scene, but whatever it was, I didn't get it. It seems like he just, walked into the amusement park in full regalia. I was hoping for something more dramatic. But he's in the story, and I would think that Clark Kent would be a little more careful about his secret identity. Though it's weird having Batman there in costume and Superman there in the guise of Clark Kent. It's more fun with them both in secret identity, or both in costume. And I don't know why the announcer kept reminding us several times in the same episodes that Dick Grayson was, in reality, Robin. I think that's kind of a once-an-episode thing. In Shern Bigora, we have Riley, the stereotypical Irish cop. Hopefully they'll be giving him some dignity before this is all said and done. Overall, it's pretty fun. Even the stuff that's a little odd is odd in a fun way. All right, well, we'll see how this develops. Join us here back next Sunday for Part 5. In the meanwhile, you can send your comments to adam@adamsweb.us. And remember, once a month, cast your vote for the show on Podcast Alley. And be sure to pick up Tales of the Dim Night, available on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and for your ebook readers. But from Boise, Idaho, this is your host, Adam Graham, signing off.